It's always good to start a video off with a nice hot cup of tea. So I hope you don't mind. I need my small daily dose of caffeine here. Mm. Somebody's dropping points to Tunisia in Group G. This group is not going to be decided before the final match day. Final match day has Belgium and England, the two group favorites, meeting each other. And I don't think we're going to see something like Belgium 6, England 6, Panama, Tunisia 0 points, all decided before the final games are played. I just don't think it's going to go that way. This group, Group G, Belgium, Panama, Tunisia, England. Let's go through it, all right? Belgium versus Panama in the opening match, I think, is the strongest contender for being the game in the World Cup that is a complete blowout. I think, every World Cup has a match that is like a 4-0 or 5-0 or just an emphatic goal margin victory. And I think Belgium versus Panama has the strongest possibility of being that. Belgium should win that match like 5-0. Because Panama is the worst team entering this World Cup. I love Panama. It's their first ever tournament. I want them to do well. I was sad for them back in 2014 when they didn't qualify, but they are grossly outmatched here. And Panama, I'm afraid, is going to be a team that is going to approach the World Cup like we're just happy to be here kind of thing. And I think they could play the role of Honduras from 2010, when Honduras got back to the World Cup after so many years. Except for this case, Panama, it's their first World Cup ever. So, you just look at the rosters. Belgium speaks for itself. Vertonghen, Kompany, Lukaku, Hazard, Origi, Benteke. It's just stacked. And Panama, they qualified for the first Arab World Cup. It's also an aging squad. They have some decent players: Gabriel Torres, Blas Perez, who's been there since the dawn of time. Jaime Pinedo, who's also been there since the dawn of time, goalkeeper. So it's just they don't belong anywhere in the conversation of standing a chance against this Belgium team. I'm sorry. Maybe if they play a 10-0-0 formation, prevent Belgium from finding the back of the net. But to be honest, it's pretty clear who should come out on top in this game. Tunisia and England's going to be really interesting, though. Let's just be clear here. Tunisia isn't anywhere near the class that Panama is, because Tunisia is a team that has quite a lot of World Cup pedigree and World Cup experience. I think they're tied with Morocco for the second most number of appearances of any African nation in the World Cup. I think the only other two are Nigeria and Cameroon, but Tunisia has been around since the 70s. They've always been a force in African football. And they're a decently decorated side. Like I said, they have World Cup pedigree. And considerably, their squad right now is better than Panama. So I don't think this is a Belgium England runaway kind of group here. I think you have somebody in Tunisia who can seriously play the role of spoiler to somebody, either preventing them from going through or preventing them from topping the group. And I think Tunisia can make a respectable case for a top two finish here. I really think they can. Um, the first match for England is against Tunisia, and that's going to be, in my opinion, just as important as their final match against Belgium. It's interesting because Gareth Southgate, the current England manager, entered the 1998 World Cup as a player, first match against Tunisia. Now as a manager in 2018, first match is against Tunisia. That was a 1-0 victory for England back in 98. Will history repeat itself here? I don't know. But I do have a suspicion that Tunisia is not going to be done and dusted before the final match day even comes. That just doesn't happen. I expect Tunisia to beat Panama. I mean, that's Panama's realistically best shot of getting any kind of result in this group is that last game against Tunisia. And who knows, by that time, they'll most likely be already eliminated, that they may have nothing to lose. So they might just play their hearts out and maybe get a result. It's certainly their best chance. Though I think it's also a great thing for Tunisia. They're playing Panama last. Because if Tunisia can get a result, let's say a draw, from one of their first two games against Belgium, England, just a draw, and then beat Panama, they're on 4 points. They're on 4 points, while the team that they drew against is presumably also on 4 points, heading into the final match against Belgium and England. So just think about it logically here. Let's say Tunisia draws England, right? England beats Panama. England goes into that final match against Belgium on 4 points. Tunisia draws with England, like I just said. They beat Panama in that final game to go to 4 points. All the pressure's on England. All the pressure's on England. Now, of course, it does depend on goal difference, etc. But all the pressure's on England because you better believe Belgium's going to play every game in this group to win it. You better believe they're going to seek 9 points. So if England loses that final match against Belgium while Tunisia beats Panama, and like I said, Tunisia should beat Panama. They should beat Panama. To give you a comparison of what the dynamic is between Tunisia and Panama, think of Morocco should beat Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, Morocco is much better than Trinidad and Tobago. I'm just giving you a parallel comparison here. I think it's a fair comparison because Trinidad and Tobago is not too far behind Panama. And Morocco is slightly better than Tunisia. So Tunisia should beat Panama, okay? That's what should happen. Panama, I think, is going to be possibly the only team in this tournament who finishes without a single point. Maybe without even scoring a single goal. I hope that doesn't happen. I mean, personally, I hope Panama pulls off a Costa Rica from 2014 and somehow comes out of this group. Or at the very least, I hope Panama scores a goal. I hope Blas Perez and Gabriel Torres both get one on the back of the net because playing in the World Cup has been their dream. I hope they score. So, just make that clear. I want Panama to do well. But they should lose every game. They should lose every single game. And like I said, Tunisia gets that win. It puts pressure onto whoever dropped points against them from the first two games. Puts pressure. I think there is a better chance of one of Belgium or England not advancing than many would think. The only question is who. Who's it going to be that drops points? As you know, I'm a little bit bold here. I don't think it's going to be England because I have England winning this group. I do. I have England winning this group on 7 points, actually. I think what could happen is this current Tunisian side could be a sort of mirror of Algeria in 2014, where they came very close, 20 minutes away from upsetting Belgium in that opening match. If you don't remember, Algeria had the lead for about 70 minutes, and then Belgium scored 2 to come from behind in the dying stages of the opening match of that group in 2014. I think this Tunisian side is very similar to that Algerian team. Another thing about North African football is that a lot of the teams in North Africa have a similar identity. They play similar styles of soccer, especially when you go more out west and you go to the Maghreb areas, Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria. And I think Tunisia is good enough to pull something like a Greece during qualification when they held Belgium to a draw on the road nearly twice. Belgium is the kind of team, for all of their abundance in talent and attacking fortitude, I think that they're a team that you can frustrate easily by limiting their chances in the final third. And I think, like I said, their World Cup qualifying group, Greece, and to a lesser extent Bosnia and Herzegovina, sort of laid out the blueprint of how to frustrate them, how to stop them. And I think Tunisia is good enough of a side to implement that, as they almost did in the most recent time that Tunisia played Belgium, which was, I think, in 2014. It was a friendly, and they nearly held them back. It was a narrow 1-0 victory for Belgium. They got a goal in the last few minutes of the game. I think we could see something like that happening. All in all, most people think that England will be the team who drops points against Tunisia. If any team does drop points against Tunisia, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not Tara. Like I said, I think England is going to have a good World Cup. I do think they're going to have a good World Cup, and I think they're going to top this group. I don't think they will beat Belgium. I think that last match is going to be a tie, because I think both teams are going to realize a tie is a mutually beneficial result for both of them, and then it'll probably end like a 0-0 or 1-1. So how do I have this group finishing? I have England winning it with 7 points. I have Belgium with 5 points. Tunisia with 4. Panama with 0. I don't buy the Belgium hype. Last 2 major tournaments, they've disappointed. World Cup 2014, Euro 2016. They didn't go as far as they should have, and when they did win, it wasn't really convincing. I don't think they fully clicked to where they're playing near their maximum potential under Roberto Martinez. They're better than what they were under Mark Wilmots. I'll give them that. But I don't see them as championship caliber just yet. But they will go through. They will go through because they have too much. They just have too much going for them at the moment. But they're not going to win the group. England, Belgium, Tunisia, Panama. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe. I'll see you in my next video later today. Until then, have a good one. Much love and peace out.